All right, so now we're going to look at RDS, which stands for Relational Database Service, and it is for setting up relational databases. So I want you to make your way over to the RDS console. So go to the top here and type RDS, and we'll click that. And once we're here in the console, we're going to create ourselves a new database. So on the left-hand side here, go to Databases, and then create a database. And we're going to be presented with quite a few options here. Okay, and so by default, it has the Amazon Aurora engine selected. This is one of the most expensive options, so we definitely do not want to use that. So we will just use Postgres for our case here. And the next thing is we have some templates to get us started here. And so we have production, dev test, and free tier. And these are all suited for different needs. So the idea with production is if you are a very large company, they're setting you up with every bell and whistle under the sun here, where dev test is for small to medium size companies, and free tier is definitely just for gaining hands-on experience, which is what we're doing here, or just for testing simple applications. So I just want to show you the price difference here. So they have a calculation down below. So if I scroll all the way down below here, you can see that for production, it's $600 a month, which is quite a bit of money. And then if we have a dev test and we scroll down here, now it's $262, still quite expensive. And then we go to the free tier, and now there is no cost shown because it is free, okay? But you only get 750 hours on RDS, and so for a T2 micro, and then once that is used up, then if you use the T2 micro for a month, it will cost you around $15 per month. And again, if you are a very small startup, you can run on the free tier and the lowest tier for quite a while. But for some reason, AWS decides to always have the most expensive one selected here with RDS, so we just have to be careful there. So let's go to free tier because it is the use case for us. We have the DB instance identifier. We'll leave that alone. That's totally fine. We need to set a password, so I'm just going to type in Postgres 123. Okay, and then Postgres 123. Then you have your DB instance size. We, of course, want to leave it on T2 micro here because we want to have the smallest instance. There's nothing smaller. There's no nano here on RDS like EC2. Then we choose our storage. It's set to 20 gigabytes. There is auto scaling for storage, so it will automatically increase the size if that runs out. I'm going to turn that off because we don't need that. You have your multi-AZ. You can determine where this RDS should launch, like what VPC. We're going to leave in the default. For database authentication, we can use the standard password authentication, or if you want to allow IAM users to authenticate directly, you can use that, which is pretty cool. I'm just going to leave it to password authentication. And then we have additional configuration, which you definitely want to set. So you have your initial database name. So if you do not specify database name, RDS does not create a database. So I'm pretty sure we want to create a database here. So we're going to have to name this here. So I'm going to call this Exam Pro Fresh. Okay. And we're going to turn backups off, okay? And I guess apparently I can't use a hyphen there, so I'll just remove that. Actually, it looks like I can use an underscore. And so, but anyway, so if we turn this off to 0 days, that means it's not going to take a snapshot right away or a backup right away. It's going to launch a lot faster. And we're not doing much with a server, so let's just get through this as quickly as possible. We don't need performance insights, so I'm going to turn that off as well. And yeah, we were all good to go, so we'll go ahead and create that database. Okay, and so we're just going to wait for the creation of that database there, and it will just take a little bit of time here, and we'll be back in a moment. All right, so now our database is available here, and you can just see when clicking into it that we get stuff such as the CPU usage currently, and how many current connections are connected to this database here. Now, in order to actually access this database, you'd have to assemble all the requirements. So you'd have to use this endpoint, you'd need this port number, we need the database name, the username and password, which we had set earlier, and then you could use a traditional tool, maybe Table Plus or something, to make a connection and start using that database, okay? But, for our purposes, it was just a matter of showing how easy it is to create a database here. And so now that we have created our own database, let's go ahead and just destroy that database, okay? And so I'm going to go ahead here and I just have to type in delete me. Okay, and that's RDS for you. So this will just delete here. I'm just going to hit refresh, and we're totally good here. I'm just going to go back to the management console.